Alright, this is the Mummy Monk, game number 50. The final game for a while, probably, in what was once the elliptic streak, but is now the rosecrypto.com streak. The current world record for the longest number of streaked wins in a row in DCSS. First of all, I'd like to apologize for not streaming for several days. I have actually been sick. And I'm still kind of getting over that, so if you hear me mute my mic for a few seconds, that's because I'm trying not to cough directly into the microphone. But I'm pretty much over it now, so hopefully that doesn't happen. With the power of cough drops, I should be okay. Anyway, yeah, let's try to figure out exactly what's going on in this game. Hey, Biceface, what's up, man? Haven't seen you in one of my streams in a while. I guess you're getting back into DCSS, right? Maybe you'll play in the upcoming tournament. We're looking for members for our team, by the way. Hey, Asimov, what's up? Nice to see you too. Let me take a look real fast. So I made a bunch of shops here on Depths 5 next to Zot. Just making sure I'm not lying. It looks like we've got 4 runes. I posted that I had 4 runes somewhere. So yeah, that was accurate. Got to get Abyssal rune, and then of course all of the scary, spooky, difficult extended runes, because I promised I would do 15 runes on at least one of the games in this streak. So, haven't played since I rage quit in the middle of a Gozag octopode, since you kept running out of food. Yeah, you got to be careful. If you want to play a Gozag caster, it's definitely doable. It's just painful, you know. Anyway, looks like I was training fighting, and I suppose I chose to train long blades because I wanted more offense. It kind of makes sense, I guess. And then I was probably going to take Evo all the way to 27. Evo and fighting. We'll take fighting to 26, though. Not because of any strategic reason, but because I want the Evo title over the fighting title. It's a little more interesting. But anyway, yeah, this character, if I recall, is in a really good place. He's got all the resistances, he's got full MR, he's got some Japanese steel protecting him from the indignities of confusion. You know? He doesn't have any magic, though. Hey, thanks for the follow, Biceface. How useful, useless stealth for medium-heavy armor characters. Well, heavy armor really does nuke your stealth score a lot. In ringmail, you're okay. Well, that's considered light armor, I suppose. What you want to do is, in Discord, remind me, and I will paste you this thing that Doesn't did a while back, this super useful code dive, where he actually showed exactly what the chances are of like an orc priest noticing you per turn based on your stealth skill. And I think he even included what kind of armor you have on. Or maybe he just assumed you had ringmail. But the bottom line is, like, I'll always get like 2 points of it if my aptitudes are you know, convenient for me to do that in the early game, because it's really important to get that 50% or less chance for the priest not to notice you when you don't have the hit points to really survive a early encounter with a very angry zealot of Biog. But anyway, I think we're pretty prepared. If I recall correctly, I left Tomb because it was just filled with garbage. I really want to actually do Tomb. Do we have 3 scrolls of blinking? Check it out. We're going to go to Tomb. Let's live life dangerously. I could save Tomb until later, but the thing is, there's so much loot in here. We could probably find something useful, perhaps at least an enchant armor scroll. I don't know. I want to do it. I know that we need 1 more enchant armor for our crystal plate. A little investment in the skill for Hill Orc Fire Mage. I probably wouldn't if you're pretty deep into the game. It's probably not that necessary. Generally, I see stealth as an early game skill. It becomes really a lot less interesting for me in the mid and late game. But you may build your characters differently and your mileage may vary. Okay, we're gonna, we have the technology. We will go ahead and bribe. Not that this will help us against the enemies we've already seen, but, I don't know, I feel pretty good about going down here. We can't haste, unfortunately. Well, we can, but we'd have to potion petition. Let's just go down. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna Horn of Geryon to open up. What's my primary fear down here? So, like I said, I've been sick, so it's been a few days since I've played DCSS. And anybody who's familiar with my streams knows that I'm like an amnesiac. I will completely forget how a character is played after a couple days of not playing it. I'll have to look it up again. Well, look up exactly what I was doing. There's no Benus around here. I guess it would suck if I got slowed by the Death Scarab. Otherwise, I just have to worry about Dispel Undead, and I don't see any Ushaptis. We should be able to tank almost all of this stuff. We're not exactly Diesel, but we're pretty damn close. What is Diesel? 46 AC, 31 EV. Yeah, we're not that far away. Should probably be training dodging up to like 26. And armor. Really not bad. Oh, there's our Bennu. Okay. I'm trying to think. I guess I could go into one of these. I wish I could get like a kill hole, but that's really not going to happen on Tomb 2. What is Diesel? Diesel is just a casual sort of name for having 46 AC and 31 EV. It's just kind of like a social thing. Like, it's not a real term in the game. It's just like a kind of a break-off point where you can imagine that your character is really quite hard to kill. There's another one for EV-intensive characters, and that's called Octane. 23 AC and 51 EV. And that's, yeah, it's basically just the idea that if you reach those completely arbitrary numbers, your character is probably not going to die to very much. I tell you what, let's scattershot this fella. He'll definitely die. Well, that'll hit my Hellbeast, though. Let's File of Floods, then. Order them to attack the Bennu. We will... I guess we'll Ice Blast is what we'll do. Should be okay. Yep. Now that we've killed a few things, the distract is happening, which is quite nice. A Scuttle shot him. I didn't want to piss off my Hellbeast. He's pretty useful. Also, what's up, Wesley? How you doing, man? Okay, here's where the big damage is possibly going to happen. I don't care about scattershotting my water elemental. I need this Bennu dead. But hold on, let's check his defenses. 2 points of AC, 4 EV. This should be okay if I'm remembering correctly. Whoops, I did that in the completely wrong direction. I fat-fingered the keyboard. Okay, there. He died like I thought he would when I actually did it in the right spot. You drawing? Awesome, man. Always happy to hear my friends are being productive, you know. It's one of the biggest things in life, really, is to just try to stay productive. It's so easy. It's human nature to want to just do nothing. You know, in a state of nature, if you can laze around like a lion, you're conserving calories, right? So you just chill out, and that's just our natural state of affairs, but it's not very good for your soul, so to speak. If I can get a little philosophical for a second. Nice gargoyle mummy. Well, you see, doesn't he? I've got a plus 13 crystal plate on. OCPA spawn, but why would I want that when I can have, what is it, like six more points of AC if I get it fully enchanted? Yeah, Wesley, that is probably my biggest weakness in life is sticking to a schedule. It really is good for you, though, I have to admit. Alright, this is working out better than I thought it would. I thought I would get surrounded, but we're killing things just fast enough that they're not They're not really jumping around me. No, Tony, you're not really that late. I pretty much just started. You missed my lead-in, though, where I was warning people that, well, the reason I haven't streamed for a few days is that I've been sick, so if I have to mute the microphone, it's probably because I'm trying to avoid sneezing or coughing directly into the mic, so just be warned that might happen. We're marked, but it really doesn't matter. Let's make another horn. We already recharged that. Let's try to lightning rod this fella here. He's pretty much the only guy on the board right now that I'm afraid of. Oh man, he can do 150 damage to us if he gets 2 really good iron shots. Does he have electricity resistance? He does not. So we're gonna keep lightning rodding him. Oh, this is okay. We'll just have the Hell Beasts kill him. Okay. Okay, now I will Ice Blast even if he is resistant to it. Order him to attack. Go Hell Beast. Alrighty. Yeah, no, doesn't he? I'm a sucker for OCPA as well, especially on a mummy. I mean, obviously, obviously, I would rather be immune to what do you call it, confusion and whatnot. But with that said, I've got the Japanese steel, and there's no particular reason for me to not use it. These naughty water elementals didn't show up in the right spot. Ice Blast. Okay. Okay, that worked out. Right, we don't have the int. That would be the biggest problem. I had a request, and I honestly I forget. It's been a few days, so I forget who asked me to do this. But I had a request to do a ziggurat on this character, and I probably do that just because I'm doing extended anyway. But it's going to be a little awkward because I don't think I'm going to be casting spells, considering that we have 10 intelligence. On the other hand, you know, it is possible we find some kind of +10 int item. You know, the OCPA itself has 3 int on it, so that takes me to 13, you know. Autumn Katana equals Japanese steel. Yeah, that's just what I call it. Yeah, Bennu are baddie, holy, ballistimus sight fellas. Yeah, that's basically correct, I guess. that's pretty accurate. Okay, hold on a minute. We're gonna drop crystal plate armor. I'm gonna purposefully. Oh, wait a minute. I have 16. Never mind. I was gonna like painstakingly blink out of every single one of those traps, but we have 16 throwing nets. We're fine. Single zig is doable if you keep your scrolls tight. I both agree and disagree. I guess this would be the character to do it on, considering that, like, 1, it's Gozag, so I'm going to have, like, endless haste. 2, it's a mummy, so I don't have to worry about torment. My only issue is, like, I really do like to have Holy Word available in a ziggurat, and while I could use it in there, it's pretty painful to use on an undead character. But I pretty much agree with you that it's doable. I mean, I literally have the best possible god for the purpose of zigging, so I don't think it'll be a problem. So, Tony, I'm gonna try to keep it entertaining for you. Anyway, this is always really fun to see. Plus 14 crystal plate armor. This is literally the most AC you can get out of any mundane piece of equipment in the entire game. An artifact crystal plate could have more. I don't know exactly how much more. I think maybe it can go to like 24. But how often are you really going to see something like that? Alright, so, let's just, I was going to say let's auto-explore, but the answer is you'll never see it, probably. I kind of am regretting bribing. I don't think I needed to do that. Let's go up. I'm probably just going to tab all this crap, considering the bribe. This is a pretty easy floor. Typically it's kind of like a hallway where you gotta fight greater mummies once in a while, and while greater mummies are really strong, especially if you're not immune to torment, I always find this part of Tomb 1 to be very straightforward on account of the fact that you can just lure crap right out of the hallway, right back to where you're at, and typically at the absolute most you're going to have to fight 2 greater mummies at a time, probably just 1 at a time. Did the bribe just run out? Yes, it did. Bribe does not last long when you're paying the exorbitant fees of a greater mummy. Basically, I think it's hit dice based, and greater mummies have really high hit dice. So, you know, pretty painful. Okay, we're gonna let these guys sort of deal with this problem for me. Actually, we're pretty low on money. Damn, dude. Scatter shot. Most important thing is taking out the Bennu. More likely to dip into your Bitcoin funds. Yes, I guess, yeah. I mean, pretty much the way it works is I think it's every single guy that you bribe costs a certain amount of the funds, right? And it's just more funds for every hit dice that they have, but it may not be that simple. I haven't actually looked at the code. This is just my instinct based on playing a lot. Anyway, let's go back. I wanna get a nice little gold stockpile. Why don't we just hit up the hells, man? We still have vestibule to do. Like, we kind of ran in here and cheesed down Garyon really quick. Still have this residual kill hole we can use. You need enough merchants to force the good equipment. Well, I have pretty damn good equipment, man. I mean, if you look at my status screen, the only thing that I could really reasonably ask for is more fire resistance. If I had that, especially if I could like take off the scarf and put on something else, maybe R missile, then we'd be in an even better place. But like, or just a big pile of intelligence so I could start casting. But I mean, I really cannot. I can't look at this character and say he's not strong enough. You know, it's just not possible. He's very. This is almost as strong as a melee character gets. Shield of Ignorance, that'd be pretty sweet. Yeah, I think I'd prefer Shield of Resistance for the RF, but Ignorance would be okay. Gong would be okay. It would require no training, so that'd be nice. Yeah, elephants totally spawn in vestibules sometimes. I see those all the time, really. Yeah, Tony, this mummy he's been lifting. Speaking of lifting, in addition to not streaming, I haven't been lifting, just because I suspect it's probably not a very good thing to lift while you're sick. And today I decided to do something a little different. Because I did curls in the morning, dumbbell curls, today I was supposed to do, I don't know, I've been changing my schedule up a bit, right? So, you know, I was supposed to do, like, dumbbell curls today, but I had already done barbell curls in the morning, and you really don't want to hit the same muscle 2 times in one day. So I did these things that are called tricep extensions. And basically you lay on your back on a bench, which is just a flat surface basically. And you put your arms straight out in front of you while you're lying down, and then you sort of lower your forearms backwards, like towards your head. And it activates the tricep, which, if you don't know, is the muscle sort of opposite to the bicep. And it will make you feel like an infant while you're doing it, because, you know, in day-to-day life, you typically don't activate that muscle very much. There's another, is that a second elephant, doesn't he? I think so. I should be a little careful around him, because I only have RF, and they actually hit as hard as orbs of fire, I think. But we did okay. We took them out. But anyway, yeah, you don't activate your tricep very much. So a lot of people think that, you know, dudes walking around with huge arms, they just do like a bunch of curls and have gigantic biceps. But look closely and you'll see that it's actually that they have huge triceps as well. Like the back of the arm is huge. I don't know. Once I was done, it felt really good. It's always really satisfying when you lift, and then when you're done, it feels like you actually did some work, you know? We walk around doing isometrics. Wesley's that guy from that manga where he's just flexing all the time, and if he was ever to unflex, his muscles would fall out of his body and crush everyone in the room. Hope somebody knows what I'm talking about, because I have no idea what the name of that is. This could be obnoxious. This is 100 damage worth of Dispel Undead possible. Alright, there it is. Okay, you're getting scattershotted. I'm not playing with Dispel Undead today. Yeah, I have no idea. Even if you said the name of the manga, I wouldn't be able to name it. It's just like a single panel that I saw posted somewhere at some point. You've never been to the Hells. Okay, well, I can explain it a little bit. Yeah, basically, you've got the vestibule, which is kind of the entrance area to Hell. There's no rune here. It's only one floor. And it's always got Garyon in it. He's always got his trusty Horn of Garyon, which of course you want a lot unless you're worshipping a good god, in which case you don't want it because you can't use it without your god getting PO'd at you. Sometimes there's another unique called Francis. He is a unique curse skull. He's pretty rare, which means that tournament teams really like to see him because there's a reward, there's a point reward for your team killing all of the uniques before anybody else does. So people generally will do vestibule on every single character and all love it in tournaments so that they can try to meet Francis. Did I call him Francis? Murray. Murray is his name. Francis is an entirely different unique. I have no idea why I said that, but yeah, Murray, which I think is a reference to Planescape, maybe? But anyway, so you clear all this crap and you're left with 4 entrances to 4 different branches. You've got Cocytus, which if you know your Dante's Inferno, is the frozen layer of hell. You've got Dis, the iron city of I think it's the city of lies in Dante's Inferno, but it's kind of a metal and earth themed branch in this game. You've got Tartarus, which is the land of the dead. You can imagine what that's themed around. And you've got Gehenna, which is the fire themed hell. He's a Monkey Island reference and has a 1/4 chance of spawning. You know, I've heard such good things about Monkey Island. I really want to stream that. I actually never played it. I played a lot of games like it. The one that I always bring up is Hand of Fate. But I don't know, man. It's one of those classics that I just never got to touch. Anyway, I think we're just going to do Cocytus. We should be able to do this in one shot. So the way the Hells work is really obnoxious, and Wesley, it's really good that you're getting a chance to see this, because this is one of the things that I would really like to revamp once we actually finally get our fork going. Because basically this is so it's such a great example of how extended is just stupid in this game. I don't mean stupid like you know, the content is interesting or whatever. It's a slog. It's grueling. So every single hell has 7 floors to it. So Cocytus, 7 floors. Gehenna, 7 floors, so on and so forth. And the way it works is, you see this wacky little exit, right? That's called a gateway to hell. Anytime you go, okay, so there's going to be a few downstairs, I think 3 every single floor, right? If you go downstairs, your upstairs actually becomes a gateway to hell, which means that at any moment where you go downstairs, you can go up and it'll take you back to the vestibule rather than going 1 floor up. So if I'm on Coquitous 5 and I go down to Coquitous 6 and then I go straight back up, I'm in the vestibule now. I've luckily found a shaft, so we're going to take that. It's easy to leave hell, but hard to go deeper into. Yes, it's very odd. So I would probably reverse that. 2, the reason why this sucks will become apparent very soon. So I'm tabbing, and oh man, what just happened? You notice that suddenly there's an ice fiend here. Where did he come from? So every so often you get these things called hell effects. You see this right here? It says you feel a terrible foreboding, ... ellipses of death. And then it says an ice fiend comes into view. So hell effects can summon crap on your head, it can torment you, it can rot you depending on which hell you're in. It can do all kinds of just really nasty crap to you. So it's incredibly grueling to be in here. And the reality of, no, the downstairs don't get shuffled. Well, the downstairs do kind of get shuffled. It's random is how it works, Tony. You go downstairs and it sends you to a random spot where there's also an upstairs, you know, so on the next floor. So you're basically right. But anyway, yeah, it's super, super grueling because, you know, this character is really strong and is immune to torment, but most characters are getting just beaten down on their way down. And their resources are getting used up, their hit points are getting used up. They don't really have a chance to rest, which is one of the reasons why Regenerate is probably the best spell in the game to have in Extended. I would not, there's a 0% chance you would see me doing Extended without Regenerate unless I was worshipping TSO, in which case I can't use it. He heals you anyway, so that's fine. But regen is just so crucial. We don't need it here because we can't use it. We're a mummy, and we're immune to torment, so we just need it less. But if I could cast it, believe me, I'd be doing it in this crystal plate, even with 10 intelligence, no question. So, like, the reality, and you know, honestly, I've done it on stream before, or at least on video. The reality of this this setup is like if you start to get screwed over in here, typically the optimal thing to do, since it's so easy to leave, is to just bail. So, okay, you're getting screwed over, you get down to like Coquitous 6, Gehenna 6, whatever the hell, and you're like, okay, I'm losing, I'm going to leave. Go back to the vestibule. What do you do next? You go right back in, and it's just this whole back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and there have been times, and I'm not even exaggerating, I bet you there have been times where I've gone in and out of, like Dis, for example, 25 times in a single game. Just like diving down, getting screwed over, leaving, diving down, repeat. Yeah, the Petrify Hell effect only happens in Dis, and it is miserable. That is why we're going to do Dis last on this character. And actually, that reminds me, I need to get Yara's online for that because okay, I'm alive. That sucked. Can't hear you anymore, is this me? No, Wesley, I muted myself because I didn't think, I didn't think people wanted to hear me just, like, dying into the microphone, so to speak. I mentioned I might have to mute myself every so often. I'm still, like, coughing up the, last bits of being sick every so often, so... Did I already Naruto run through Area 51, Manolek? No, we haven't done any of Extended yet. Drink some OJ. Pretty good advice. I don't have any, but I guess I could use I could really use some tea right now. Maybe I'll go make some. I'll tell you what I'll do is I'm gonna toss one of these Ricolas in my mouth, and maybe that'll give us a little hand here. A little bit of a secret weapon there. Those Ricolas. Drink some sugar, yeah, pretty much. Now the menthol's where it's at, and I don't mean the cigarettes. Don't spurn the marbles jokes. Yeah, best friend, dude. Everybody I know is knows somebody who is sick right now. It's wild. Something's going around. I don't know what it is. Secret government weapon to be used against gamers only, I guess. But anyway, I completely lost my train of thought. I'm pretty boring, Gary Burton. I just like black tea. If I'm at a Japanese restaurant, I'll have green tea. It's pretty good. If I'm sick, I'll have licorice, because I was someone in my someone in my streams let me know that that's really good for a sore throat. And I'm not a huge fan of the taste, but it definitely was good advice. So that's what I've been drinking lately while I've been sick. Did you know that black tea will kick you out of a metabolic fasting state? I did not know that. Wesley, would you educate me more on exactly what that means and if it's a bad thing? Because it sounds like a bad thing. It is amazing what simple herbs can do to your body, you know. We could do an awful lot of stuff with without modern medicine. I don't know if you guys know this. There used to be a plant that was sort of harvested to the point of extinction. I think in Roman times, which supposedly acted as a form of birth control. And of course, people were so excited to have it that they just wanted so much of it, and now it just doesn't exist anymore. I don't remember what that's called. I'll have to look that up. Yeah, best friend. A lot of people hate licorice for some reason. Alright, anyway, I was probably bitching and moaning about hell effects and extended. So you'll notice one thing that's happening is I'm getting my strength nuked. And that's one thing hell effects can do to you, is just nuke your stats. So we may actually have to go into the abyss and just farm for a while if this keeps up, if that were to hit the wrong stat too many times, because we don't want to be stat 0, do we? It's a real pain. Let's magic map. Alright, so Coquita 7, no, we don't have the Abyssal Rune. Coquita 7 is, like any other, Hell 7, you know, Gehenna 7, Tartarus 7, whatever. There's a few different layouts, but judging by the layout, you'll always have some idea of where the rune is. So in this one, if my memory serves me right, I think the rune is either here, or like maybe here. I think it's in the furthest clover leaf. Or maybe it's in the center. The center makes the most sense, doesn't it? But it could be in either of those things. There's no indication of which clover leaf it's in. Yeah, I don't appreciate this racist vault. I didn't know that the devs of this game were so, you know, bigoted, putting references to 4chan in their game. I'm highly offended and butthurt. My butt is incredibly hurt right now. In fact, I might actually cry. Hey, speaking of crying, do you guys want to hear the saddest story of all time? It may be the saddest thing I've ever seen in real life, and it happened to me just the other day. And I can take this chance to talk badly about my girlfriend at the same time. It's really an all-around wonderful story. I should demand a refund. Yeah, I want my money back. I want my time back that I spent actually getting good at DCSS. I probably could have become fluent in 6 languages with the amount of time I've dumped into this game. So be careful here and try to pull things into this hallway. So anyway, I already teased the story, so I might as well tell it. Oh man, we're slow. Sucks. So people that are in my Discord already know what I'm going to say. The other day, I'm sick, of course, a couple days ago. I think it was yesterday, actually. I'm sick, and I'm going to MO here. Check this out. I'm sick, and I hear my girlfriend calling me. She's like, hey, check this out. Something cool's happening. I'm like, what? She's at the window. There's this cat that she takes care of. She feeds it sometimes. It's like a stray that was obviously somebody's cat at some point. And now he's gone a little bit wild, and he's kind of like the neighborhood cat. Like, everybody feeds him a little bit here and there, and he looks healthy. He's happy, whatever. And I just figured this was cat related, so I'm like, okay, whatever. I go to the window, and the cat's there, and he's very intently focused on something. And then I see there's like this cute little baby squirrel, just like sitting right next to it, looking terrified. And he starts slapping the hell out of it. and I guess she was rooting for the cat, but I felt so bad for the little squirrel because like this thing was like tiny. It was like smaller than my fist easily, you know. And God only knows exactly how the cat got a hold of the squirrel. I think even baby squirrels pretty much stay in trees all the time. And I don't know how it got separated from its mom. I don't know if you know this, like mother squirrels are, adult squirrels are badasses. They will claw your face up, man. Cats do not want to tussle with them. So, yes, elemental wellsprings still exist. I'm not quite sure why. They kind of kill themselves if you just sort of sit there, because they take damage every time they do their File of Floods effect on you. It's bizarre. But, yeah, no, hunting squirrels, that's fine. If you're going to eat them, fine. But, like, the cat was just sort of playing with it. It was just, like, really sad, because the thing, like... Okay, so I poured some water on the cat to make it go away. Because I felt bad for the squirrel. And the squirrel's just, like, sitting there, sort of crying, and hyperventilating. And, I don't know. I was not happy about this. So, my girlfriend was on Team Cat. I'm firmly on Team Squirrel. The weak should fear the strong, I guess. I don't know. I would have felt so much better about it if the squirrel had been an adult, I guess. Then they have a fighting chance, so to speak. But there is a secret third group to root for, because she's been feeding that cat for like a few weeks now, and we realized that if she leaves the food out at night, it has started attracting this very, very fat possum who just kind of sits next to the bowl and claims it as his own. So we stopped doing that. So if you want to root for the possum, bro, that's an option too, I guess. A little squirrely, haha. I don't know, man. I'd eat squirrel meat. Sounds tasty. It's just the thing was small and defenseless. I don't think the cat was about to get very many calories or protein out of that baby squirrel. It was very small. Anyway, you're watching me just like tab through Coquetus 7, but typically on a character that's not immune to torment, which is going to be probably 9 characters out of 10 that you bring in here, you're going to have to be a lot more careful. Like, you're not going to see me just willy-nilly sort of tabbing into dudes who can take half my hit points at any given time. But on this particular character, Ice Fiends are a joke. I have RC+++, so their ice attacks don't do jack to me, and their torment, of course, does literally nothing to me. So, Coquetus is by far the easiest place, in my opinion, for a mummy to do, and probably for most characters to do when it comes to extended. This invault sucks, but typically as long as you take it slow and just kind of stop in this hallway, it's okay. If you can get marked in there, it's pretty ideal. I remember one time I played a Formicid, and I was excited to be playing a Formicid and doing extended, because, well, you can shaft yourself and avoid... Oh, we're marked. Okay. Well, here's our boy. Sadly, he's not 1 Tylanteus, he's 2 Tylanteus. He's got a Dire Flail today. And a +4 Ring of Intelligence, which doesn't matter. This is a big boy. He eats his Wheaties, he eats his steel-cut oats, he drinks his protein shakes, and he does his squats and his bench. He has 682 hit points. He hits like a truck. 30 damage plus 66 cold, plus 75 plus the flail, plus 66. He can also lightning bolt, and he can flash freeze like a rhyme drake. He's a big boy. Clouds is a good move here, but we don't have it, so we're gonna have to lamp. Do those protein shakes have soy? Yeah. Word to the wise: if you ever go to buy a protein shake, if you're getting into lifting and that happens, and you see plant-based protein on the cover, do not purchase. Phantom Mirror is pretty okay versus him, but let's MO instead. We're gonna fog real quick because I don't want that. I don't You see that? You see that Zot trap? We don't want to get Zot trapped. I did get a sick lamp this time on account of the fact that I'm training evokes like a madman. This is kind of ugly. We'd rather not be in melee with him. Like, technically there is a lot of damage possible here because these Shard Shrikes are extremely fast. They can throw Icicle at me a bunch of times. Potion Petition for haste, maybe. I think I'm just going to teleport. What was that? How many Shard Shrike ice? Oh, that's hilarious. Shard of Ice misses you, Shard of Ice hits Antaeus, haha. Alright, let's Scatter Shot. Let's see if we can one-shot a Shard Shrike with Scatter Shot. Almost. I'm gonna Ice Blast all this stuff. Nice. Alright, we teleported. We're still marked. We're just going to have a grand old time up here, I think. Is there... Yeah, that's technically diggable. I think what we do... Oh, look, more hell effects. Great. Ice Blast is okay, man. If you have the technology, man, if you've got high evocations, you're actually, you know, it behooves you to some degree. You know, because remember, half of that damage is physical. So there are times when you'd like to Ice Blast even in Coquetus. I wonder, can I... Yeah, okay, I can do this. Check it out. Boom. Alright. I'm gonna lamp here. Freaking... I gotta kill that freaking Caca-Fiend. Caca-Demon, rather. Not sure why I called him a Caca-Fiend. Are there spawns in here like in Pan? Well, it's worse, really, because there's hell effects, you know? Freaking Caca-Demon wrecked my kill hole, which wasn't very good to begin with. Kill the Kakarot. Okay, I have a lot of digging. This is kind of lame. I think I'll just stay here. I don't need... I thought I could make like a little kill hole. I thought like digging would be possible maybe right here-ish, but no such luck. Just cast regen. Wouldn't I like to? Wouldn't that be lovely? Trying to avoid using money here. I mean, of course I could just start potion petitioning, but I don't think it's necessary. I think that we can hang out here and we can just be a-okay. Okay, it worked out. We used a goodly number of digging, which I'm not too happy about, but otherwise we saved ourselves from using resources, so I'm mostly okay with how this shook out. Does the out-of-depth timer still exist in Pan? I don't know. I don't think so. Although it does spawn crap at you endlessly. So if you want to farm Holy Pan, by all means, do that. It's probably the safest place to farm if your character's pretty powerful and not vulnerable to Holy, and maybe even if he is. Well, probably the safest place to farm is Abyss, but that comes along with some obnoxious side effects, like you might get mutated. I mean, if you're playing very, very carefully, you can avoid probably most of that. Certainly enough that, you know, you'll find potions to fix it, but if you don't want to have to think too much, Holy Pan's a really great place to farm. I think, I don't know, I don't think it's safer. I think it's more brain dead once you've reached a certain tier of power, so to speak. Alright, so there's actually no reason to kill Antaeus unless you want the thing that he's holding. You can just run and take his rune away. Boom, we got it. If you really are intent on killing Antaeus or any of the other Hell Lords, well, in the case of Antaeus, it's important to remember he is not resistant to poison. So the sort of typical meme way of taking his ass down is to curare him. You really don't want to be in melee with him, though. But we took his rune. I don't care to be here anymore, so I'm not going to be. I was kind of spamming teleport, but I guess I'll take a look around here. Manual of Ice Magic. I guess I'll identify this ring. That's RF+. I got a sack of spiders out of this arrangement, so that's kind of cool. Int +7 helmet. We're using the Out of the Alchemist right now, so that's not likely, but that'd be a good zigging helmet. Kind of burning a lot of tellies, but that's okay. Alright, so we're walking away. We have a rune, we're walking away. So like I said, these hell gates, boom, immediately go to Vestibule. We'll drop some of our ill-gotten gains. Helmet of Divine Compulsion, probably never going to use that. I don't know how I managed to pick up a scimitar and a hand axe, but we're going to drop that. Drop these rings. Drop this ring. What rings am I wearing? Evasion and protection? If somebody tried to give me a sack of spiders, I'd probably try to do them physical harm, Wesley says. Yeah, I'd probably at the minimum freak out. There might be something physical involved there. Sounds pretty horrifying, I have to say. That is a pretty good ring. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty good. At a minimum, I could take off one of these rings, maybe even the +6 protection, and wear a cloak. Wear a cloak instead. +2 cloak, that's 3 AC, and then my base AC goes up by 1, which potentially gives me more. That potentially gives me more AC. I probably won't get to 6, of course, but how much EV does 4 strength give you? Probably none. Let me find out, actually. Oh, it gives me 2 EV. That's actually entirely worth it, I think. I mean, we go from 57 AC to 51. 46 AC, 31 EV. Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. Closer to diesel. Well, it's also the fact that, like, if I do this, like I said, I don't have to have the scarf on anymore. We could, for the purposes of,
Let's get it on.
Hey, Spacebot. Thank you for the sub. Much appreciated, man. I hope you enjoy my boy, Ricardo. celebrating your sub. Anyway, yeah, unless we're in like a Henna or something, we really don't need 2 pips of RF. Yo to you too, Spacebot. Hope you're enjoying the stream today. I certainly am. It's a +1 cloak. I'm just going to check out what my options are. You won your Mummy Wizard with 15 runes and 2 zigs. That's pretty impressive, man. Not a lot of people in this game are capable of doing even 1 zig, so it's pretty high level of play required there, I have to say. That's Spirit Shield Scarf. That might be worth using. Is that the emote to spam when someone subs to you? I hadn't really thought about that, but you know, you can spam whatever emoji you'd like. I can show you how to win zigs, Wesley. Like anything else in DCSS, it's just like an acquired skill. You just kind of have to learn how to do it. There's a lot of little things that can screw you over if you do it even slightly wrong. Well, with regards to score, Spacebot, I wouldn't really think about that too much because it's turn count based mainly. You have to take absurd risks to get a low turn count win. Like, you want 15 runes and then as low turns as possible. That's all that matters really for score. I value 4 EV over 6 AC here. Well, it's not exactly 6 AC because that allows me to swap out the scarf for a cloak. So let's see what the cloak's actually doing for us. So it's +2 cloak. Base AC on a cloak is actually 1. So that's 3 points, right? I have 51 AC. If I put on the cloak, I actually go to 55. How'd that happen? I got 4 points. I should have only gotten 3. The answer is because the base AC went up. That means I'm getting more points out of my armor skill. So I gained 4. In this whole process, I gained 4 AC. Thank you for the follow, Kajirt Han. I gained 4 AC. I lost 6 AC, so now we're down by 2 AC. But then we gained, what was it, 2 EV? 4 EV? Something outrageous? Yeah. 24 to 26. So we gained 2 EV. So we basically traded 2 points of AC for 2 points of EV, which is a very winning trade on a character where your AC is so high. But we also lost a point of RC, which I don't care about, and we gained a little bit of intelligence, which I kind of do care about, because the reality is we actually do kind of need to get Yara's online if we want to be able to do dis. Because like Doesn't He was saying, you can just straight up get petrified in there. And mummies, as you can imagine, don't have a good time when they're getting petrified because they can't drink cancellation. So I really, really need to be able to cast Yara's Violent Unraveling on myself. It's legitimately the only way to stop yourself from being owned by an unruly petrify. I mean, it's metal, I guess, it's like necessary for survival is what it is. I wouldn't even want to walk into dis without it on a mummy. Solid ziggurat strategy too. Thought you'd replace the Ring of Evasion instead of Protection. Nope. I'm firmly of the mind that when you have a lot of AC, what you want is more EV. And when you have a lot of EV, what you want is more AC, typically. Especially past certain points. There is a reason why Diesel doesn't say, like, 100 AC, 0 EV, you know? As Tony says, closer to Diesel. And in this particular case, as the math just shook out, that, you know, I had a way to increase my base AC, and this is a character with absurdly, garishly high armor skill, so that's meaningful, you know? You have a shield, I value AC over EV. Well, I value AC over EV on almost any character, but there's a line, you know? In real life, I value protein over carbs, but I probably wouldn't eat nothing but steak every day because, you know, I'm losing out on some nutrients at that point. It's kind of the same idea. And before Wesley tells me to go into ketosis, oh, this is crap. This is the worst thing about Tomb. We get the dispersal trap roulette and we get the Zot traps at the same time. Sure, I'm glad we didn't get paralyzed. Let's fog. We got dispersed again. Let's fog again. Fight in this convenient little hallway. I can just tab the stuff, actually. Oh, I could get paralyzed here. Take a ton of damage from the Chaos Para plus the Bennu, so that's why we're Ice Blasting. Okay, this is an issue. Got this Lich, he could LCS me. You need lobster with that steak, it's true. Yeah. Sounds good. Tomb is where Baraki curses that perfect eyesight. Absolutely. Let's bust out our horn. Got a good horn today. What just happened? Something flashed. Why did that happen? Oh, someone's fighting the Hellbeast off screen. That's fine. Just trying to kill the Lich. It turns out he is the Iron Shot Lich, so I should be afraid, very afraid. Let's make some spiders. Did that do nothing? Alright, we're just going to swing. Okay, we took him out. Yes, that can fail, even at high evokes. Thing is, we can melee, as you can see, we can melee down Liches pretty easily. We just need Krull's super awful, super swingy, super high variance melee code to be halfway decent to us, you know. Let me throw another one of these Ricklas in my mouth real fast. I'm saying that wrong on purpose, by the way. It's Ricola, obviously. just so people know. All right. Grab all the gold. 4,800 gold. I could bribe again, but I don't know if I need to. I'd rather save the money for the rest of Extent. Like, honestly, I think we're okay. It's just that we're going to probably burn through our blinking. Save bribe for dis, yeah. Well, the thing is and this is where the game gets quite tedious, especially on Gozag, there's actually nothing stopping you from farming Abyss endlessly for just, like, billions of gold. You know, and once you have billions of gold, and I don't literally mean billions, but basically effectively infinite, let's say 20,000 gold, being able to just sort of potion petition as many times as you want is about as close to functional immunity and, you know, immortality that a Krull character can get to, you know. In my opinion. Did we check Tomb 1 Cloak? Yeah, we did. It was just, I think it was just +2. Maybe I should use Zot 5. Maybe Tiamat's there. And I can get the +4 Cloak of Dragon Scales or whatever. I'm gonna go down. So this is where it's just really annoying because there's this damn Zot trap. Oh god. There's the dispersal. Plus rats. I agree. Are we minus telly? We are not. I hadn't even thought to look for minus telly items. But boy, I should have. Nothing seems to have spawned. And I'm not seeing anything I'd want to wear in here. I'd like to MO I'd like to get into one of these damn doors more. Lig MO. Oh wait, mummy. Ligging in here is actually a pretty terrifying prospect. Because there are things, if you're not undead, which you would have to not be undead if you wanted to transform, there are things that can, like, miasma your ass, right? Hey, Irie, this is my first 15 runer in the streak, but certainly not, you know, overall. That was scatter shot. This is risking actually a good bit of damage from this fire, so hopefully we don't get wrecked too badly. Alright, we teleported out. Teleport again. Going to potion petition now because we need to get haste. I see that we have haste, agility, flight, heal wounds, and magic. That sounds pretty sexy to me. Let's go with that. Teleport kicks in again. This is a half-decent place to duke it out with everything, I guess. Let's get away from this trap. Oh, and there's a Zot trap, so I get to pick between Zot trap and you know. Here you will make your stand. It's true. Well, I really need this freaking ancient champion dead. I think we just swing on him. It'll probably be okay. Yeah, he dies pretty fast. It's sack time. My catchphrase right there. Sacking as many times as possible. Good news, no more net trapping. I know, it kind of sucks that we got netted. Let's try to get out of this thing. Okay, we're out of it, good. Take a step. We have so many sacks, let's make good use of them. So this is like, it's not exactly a functional kill hole, but, you know, I've had worse. I wish I could MO, but we cannot. And I wish I had higher evocations, because we would be getting ghost moths, but again, we're just not. Is this version the one with the shitty tomb traps? Oh boy, it sure is. House of Beasts. Cannot be hellfired by the Sentinel. Yeah, actually, he's got to have abjurations because he's got summons. So, yeah, that's gonna suck. Can spiders be abjured, I wonder? I'm actually not sure. They're like kind of summoned, but not really. I guess they probably can be. They've got the little purple read silence. That is an extremely ballsy play to read silence on a mummy, but thankfully that option is not even available to me, and I'm glad it isn't, because I feel like I would just screw myself over with it. Trap reform and its consequences have been a disaster for the human race. You know, my uncle used to say something similar. Read torment to aggro the spider. Why would I want to aggro the spiders? That sounds horrible. I tell you, I want a holy word, which I realize sounds insane. To die quicker. Okay. Great plan, bro. Let's make another box. Take a step this way. Just have my guys all attack the lich. I think I see my spiders shuddering. Yep, they're shuddering. That means they're leaving. Does it work on my... Oh, it works on the beast too. Damn. That might be true, Gary Burton. I don't remember his name, but that sounds like it might be right. Are those good, mature, virile beasts? Well, they're elders, so they're not quite primal yet, but they're a little bit long in the tooth, so to speak. I think I need to teleport again. This is kind of shit, but like, I'm not seeing another path. Mr. Hellbeast, or Mr. Hell Sentinel Summoner over here. That is a spooky dooky hallway. If I had, if I happened to have Emma right now, I'd feel a whole hell of a lot better about this. This is great. Open up. Here's the problem. Here's the issue. These dispersal traps mean that I cannot safely chill out on this staircase and just win. Can't do that, because I'll get blinked right off of it. If I had a minus telly item, well, then we could have a grand old time. But my typical strategy, once they added in these Nightmare World staircases, is was to like quickly get on the staircase, fight, and go up if I needed to. But then they added the Nightmare World dispersal traps, and yes, that mummy is still MO'd. Why don't we let me do a little something about that? It's pretty cool. I guess we could fight right here. Artifact Cloak, by the way. Right now I can blink to the staircase without too much hassle. If not too many things come from the top left here. I'm going to have my Hell Beasts sort of head that dude off so I don't get dispersed. This box of beasts. Bro, did that do what I think it did? Did it just get abjured again? By like a greater mummy or something? Your mature bat sting beast shudders, your mature bat sting beast disappears in a puff of smoke. Alright, I guess it's been so long since I've done Tomb that I have forgotten exactly how obnoxious abjuration can be when you're trying to do things with allies. So, it's a bit of an issue then. Let me think about this. How do I want to solve these issues without high-level magic? How do you even do this safely? Just hit your beast with the undo button. Yeah. The Onklobs and stuff are all summons. Yeah, the Fed Hoss rework is a Gamma Funk special. I really don't trust him to do any kind of... I mean, after the clownish edition of Vile Clutch, which to this day is hilariously overpowered, but was like a circus tent of overpoweredness when it first went into the game. I just don't think any edition that he puts into the game is going to be particularly well balanced. Let me put it that way. Let's go TSO and make some angels. Okay. All right. I want to keep fighting, but my time is almost up. Yeah, we're slow now. I should have bribed, by the way. Like, I tell you, it's funny, because what I really wanted to do here was get myself an early tomb so I could get all that gold, get all that loot, you know, and enjoy doing tomb early so I don't have to look forward to it later in the game. Yes, I read Gary Burton is BHOth, the creator of B-Crawl. Anyway, let's just work off our intelligence drain, which we probably got from death curses. We can go pick up another rune. Why not? Get some more gold as well. Always a nice addition. This is my first Neo shit extended. This may very well be the first 0.23 15 runes with Ebering's horrible trap system that I've done. I'm not sure. I may have done, I don't know. I may have done one or two I know I played a couple, like a game or maybe 2 games in the .223 tournament just on a lark, but I don't remember if I did 15 runes or not. I might have. You never answered my DMs on Discord. Oh, you must not be talking to me. You're talking to BHF. Anyway, where should we go? Well, hell, I'm just gonna... I could go to Tartarus. The only annoying thing there is the Shadow Fiends can dispel Undeadas for like 100 damage. Or Gehenna. I think we're gonna go to Gehenna. Because I'm just not strong enough to feel real good about doing Tomb right now. We're chipping away at it, okay? Treat it like it's a really big ice cream cone, okay? Like the president, we have like 2 scoops or more. We've breached the scoop limit, all right? And it takes a little time to eat that all those scoops. Can't necessarily eat those scoops in one sitting, you know. So we're gonna lick away at it until it's done. And it might take a little while, but we'll do it. Anyway, this is Gehenna. This is based on fire. There's also a lot of hellfire in here, which is now called damnation. But don't tell the devs, because people might think that it's fire-based. Main thing to fear in here is these brimstone fiends. They've got torment and hellfire, or hurl damnation if you prefer. Just on the tile it looks fire-based. It sure does. Anyway, some people would say this is the most dangerous demon in the game, just in terms of demons that spawn randomly, not like panlords, not named hell lords, just you know, monsters. And I could see the argument, because they can do the 60 damage regardless of anything with the hellfire, or half your hit points with the torment. So, it's an argument. Personally, I think I fear Shadow Fiends a little more. Because they have stuff that screws over all characters, you know. Can't really go into Necromutation against them and feel good about it because, well, they'll dispel you for 100-some damage. But then you don't want to not be in Necromutation because they can torment you. So you end up having to abuse line of sight or line of effect if you prefer, so that the Dispel Undead can't hit you. And you might see me doing a little bit of that, although probably not too much of it on this character. Virgin Brimstone Fiend versus the Chad Throwing Net. I should be using my throwing nets more, just to demonstrate that, you know, the most unholy and horrific demons of hell stand no chance against a tiny net. Sooner than later, those demons will be rotting in the heat like a papaya, while I'm in the cool, air-conditioned living room, kicking my feet up and relaxing. Because they got caught in a tiny net and I didn't. Alright. We've been distoed. Tele will kick in soon. Alright, this is where I get annoyed at the hells, and I burn a magic mapping so I can get off this damn floor. Because, I mean, do I really want to hunt for a staircase for 1,000,000 years with all this trash, or do I want to just find my way down immediately? But there are 7 floors on each hell, and there are 4 hells. So what's 7 times 4? It's 28. Do you have 28 magic mapping scrolls? So you can see what I mean when I say that Extended is a bit of a slog, and that Hell is, well, I'd say that it's at this point in the game, it's probably more of the source of that issue than Pan is, although both of them have their flaws. They actually grinded hell levels instead of doing Abyss. That can make sense. That can make sense. Alright, let's show him the power of the tiny net. It's not quite BVC, but it'll do. Doing vestibule a second time. I guess the walls kind of look the same, don't they? Pretty much. They really couldn't be bothered to make new wall tiles, could they? Seems lazy. Hey Wesley, why'd you put this in the game? You're the artist for DCSS, right? Or marked. That's, blue. Well, now you sound like a real DCSS dev. Teleported. It's kind of a random telly, hoping I landed next to a staircase, but what's this nonsense? A doorway that leads absolutely nowhere. I guess it's a half-decent place to make a stand and kill some trash and get some gold and get some experience, I guess. Those Hellions I kind of need to watch out for, but of course they don't really want to blow their hellfire at me when they have allies nearby. So it's pretty straightforward for me to tab them, to be honest, as long as there's dudes near me. There's our downstairs. Gehenna 7 can be horrible, by the way, so I'm hoping we get one of the easier layouts, because it really can be grueling. I've had to retreat from Gehenna 7 quite a few times. Some people say this is the easiest hell. I'm inclined to disagree. Oh baby, baby, it's net time. Let's enjoy all this wonderful gold. Oh, here's some downstairs. Oh yeah, here's a fun hell effect. Just casual Eldritch Tentacle. You know, spawned out of nowhere. Don't want to end up mailing that. Alright, we're on Gehenna 7. I think I recognize this. I think you can do a shortcut on this one. Notice I'm keeping this pig alive so I can run to the Hellion and take his ass out. So he's not inclined to start hellfiring me. I'd much rather take actual fireballs, since those get resisted. Alright, this may not be the place that I thought it was. No, we can't do a shortcut in here. Oh hell, I don't even know if I recognize this. I want a magic map, but I know it's going to be annoying for me if I do that. Like, is there any magic map for sale? There is. Okay, that changes things a little. There's 2 for sale. I could have 4. If I use one, that's 3. But I'm already, like, pretty much in the fortress, so I think we'll just hoof it, and we'll hopefully not have too much of a problem. Did we find a trove this game, by the way? Elf 2 give +3 Storm Dragon Scales. I thought we found a trove. But of course it's Storm Dragon Scales, so we're not likely to. Quick train throwing to 27 and cast Javelin. Unironically tempting to train a little throwing. Mostly so I throw my nets a little faster. Okay. Okay. I'm going to be honest. Without the power of magic mapping, I don't know I don't know where to go. Like, I know this branches out into like 4 areas, but I don't know like which one has the rune. And probably if I'm magic mapping, I wouldn't know either. I bet you it can only spawn in 2 of the wings. We'll just do them all. We're having an okay time in here. See, we're MR/2, but there's nothing in here that can really take advantage of that right now, so... What if it sticks to nets? What if what sticks to nets? Chase this red devil down. Oh, crap. That could have been dangerous. Just running around casually with a brimstone fiend right here. Okay, we're doing quite well, honestly. I thought that with all the hellfire we'd be having a little more, a few more issues here, but I am pleasantly surprised at just how well this is going. We're really not taking much damage at all. High-level transmute spell, instead of snakes, you get nets. You know, I know you're joking, but I do think that there's room in DCSS for, like, more interesting sort of item creation, you know? It would need to be limited, maybe god-based, but... I mean, not like a full sort of bloated CDDA crafting system type deal, but I think there is room for a little something. And that's the kind of radical thing I think DCSS needs to explore if it wants to evolve as a game, is to question some of those fundamentals that have sort of held it back for so long. Holy shit, dude. Stop hellfiring me. Okay, there we go. Can't hellfire me with a Balrog next time. This is the situation I was expecting. This is a little closer to the reality that I thought we were going to have to deal with. Me being at half hit points. Open world crafting survival elements with Fortnite dances. Hell yeah. Oh, we'll go back to that, Wesley. I just felt like I was neglecting DCSS for too long, especially with my illness or whatever. Wow, we just opened up the door and this hellion threw a hellfire at me, and I'm going to be honest, with the layout of this room, my instinct is that this is like a demonic bathroom. I just opened up the stall and he was pooping or something, and he was so unhappy with me that he just punched me in the face. That's my headcanon for what just happened. 3 paralysis, 4 paralysis. 4 paralysis it took at 51%. Anyway, don't interrupt a pooping demon. He was justified, probably. This could get dangerous. Let's net. Hopefully kill him before he hellfires us too many times. Good, he's dead. Glad we have so many nets. Okay, we're resting up here because it's like, you know, it's essentially a kill hole. Very hard for them to get any kind of surround on us. So that was not the place with the rune, obviously. We want this dude next to us, right? And we don't want to have to throw a net at him when his ass is on lava, because I don't even know if that works, but certainly we would lose our net afterwards, like, for sure. This thing is susceptible to cold. Let's just open up with an ice blast. And another one. Now he's next to us. Now we throw the net. Can open doors as an instance. Is that abusable, I wonder? Maybe. Hey, we got our net back, see? But not close doors instantly. Okay, okay. Oh, shit. Alright, I'm gonna ice blast here. Oops. Wrong guy got netted there. See, this is so much safer than it looks because, like, you've got the Hell Knight and whatnot next to me. This thing will not hellfire me. And that's really the big trick with Extended, is just find ways to abuse the monster AI such that it doesn't use the abilities that you're horrified of, you know? Now, of course, things like Torment, there's no tricks with Torment. You just get boned by it, or you don't. You know, if you're alive and you're on the screen, I'm sorry, they're going to torment you whether they have living allies nearby or not. In the hells, because the living allies are typically very weak, so they just don't care. I love the question mark when netted, like the demon is asking you, really, a net? Yeah, they didn't think they'd be brought low by a mere mortal, or I guess an undead in this case, with a tiny net, but it's very high technology, you know. We don't even need to use the net, actually, when we've got guys next to us. The net is a tool to kill him faster. We don't need to kill him very fast if he's not hellfiring us. So I'm playing, you know, obviously a little different, or a lot different than I would be playing if I wasn't immune to Torment. Because remember, those guys torment as well. So if I was susceptible to Torment, I would not be able to cheese them sort of as hard as I am right now. But with that said, any character can become immune to Torment if they want to, by virtue of using what do you call it? Necromutation. Of course, that's the rub, isn't it? You know, do you want to use necromutation? Gotta kill this brimstone fiend. Let's focus on the dragon. Yeah, dragon zombie can do the most damage to me. Nets are made of adamantium or something. The other big trick is to be torment immune with 55 AC. I guess. I mean, let's look up brimstone fiends. 15. I mean, they actually they're kittens, man. They hit for 15 damage each, with 2 claws or whatever, and then they hit again for 25 damage. That's nothing, man. A turtle hits harder than that. You know, alligator snapping turtle or whatever hits for 50 damage. Brimstone Fiend melee is a joke. You absolutely do not need 55 AC to, you know, tank them in melee forever. It's their spells you're worried about. Really angry elves. They're fat too. Really fat elves. Because they do have good hit points, I believe. You can check that actually. 99. Deep Elf Sorcerer. Help if I spelled it correctly. Yeah, they have almost twice as much as a sorcerer, so. Fat elves. Uh-oh. Hasted Lich. Hasted Lich, okay. Let's use the horn. Let's tell our beast to attack. Maybe we can get some idea of this thing's spells. So we need to know how scared, so we can find out how scared we need to be. Or our Hellbeast, our Hellbeast can just spank the Lich for us. That's okay with me too. Let's go somewhere a little bit safer. Wow, best friend, that's a pretty harsh take, man. New religion there. Eat right and work out or die is how that religion goes, I guess. Is that the crawl philosophy, I wonder? Or well, no, it's not or die, it's or go to hell, is what you're saying, I guess. I don't think so, best friend. I don't think so. Maybe in crawl though, who knows. Either get gains or you suffer the ultimate loss. Maybe that's the true purpose of the 4 hells in DCSS. I do like getting gains. Alright, we've explored 2 out of 4 wings, and we have come up short. We have come up short. Okay. Again, we kill the Hellfire guy first. Give me 1 second here. Alright, I'm back. Well, I'm kind of back, hold on. Oh, I see, it's just Quezzle who's pinging me on Discord. Wonderful. Okay, let's keep this party going. Carefully keeping an NPC next to me, so that the Hellion doesn't Hellfire me. I guess we'll go east next. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know if there's anything that stops the rune from spawning in either one of these wings. Trying to get in Kevin's good books. Wow. That's brutal. That's brutal is what that is. Alright. Take this stuff out. Alright, Wesley, have a good night. I hope you get some very good rest. Can't remember where the rune was. I honestly think it can spawn in any of the spots, but I'm not sure. Again, sorry about all the throat clearing and whatnot, but it's the price I pay, I guess, for streaming while still a little bit under the weather. Alright, let's not get tentacled today. Can you parry a polearm for damage, since it's 1 space only? You're talking about you're talking about riposte, I guess? That is a really good question. I actually don't know the answer. Maybe. My instinct is that it is possible, if only because crawl code is wacky. But it is not something I've looked up or tested. If Doesn't He is still here, I can virtually guarantee you that he knows the answer off the top of his head, but I think he may have went to bed by now. Ah, shit! Spacebot, you are 100% correct. The memory, as soon as you said that, the memory came flooding back to me. The guy, I forget his name right now, the Hell Lord, he shows up in one of these little tiny rooms in the corner. So, yeah, that's great. That's absolutely where the rune is. It's in the other one of those. What if you have the fencer's gloves and it's your polearm? I just really doubt the game is designed robustly enough to handle those situations. But I don't know. Maybe. Alright, the rune 100% is in here. There's no question. Keeping the zombie dragon alive. He is basically my Hellfire shield. It does occur to me that this is kind of stupid. Like, I feel like I should make it, in my version of Crawl, I feel like I should make it so that things are way more willing to Hellfire you no matter what you're next to. Because this feels cheesy as hell, doesn't it? That this is even possible. One stringy boy. Hell yeah. Asmodeus is his name. He has an item. It's called the Scepter of Asmodeus, but all it does is summon some Hellions and crap, and half the time they come in hostile, so... And 100% of the time they go hostile eventually, so I typically don't use it. We don't have to kill him, really, but we probably could. I think I'm gonna sack. Okay. Okay. I mean, he's still sacked. Just keep swinging on him, I guess. He's done being sacked. Let's, Wow, I did not mean to throw a javelin of penetration. Net. He's in the net. With the Ifrit next to me, I don't need to fear Hellfire. He sure has a lot of hit points, though. Just why is Hellfire a thing, though? Even with the brand on the crossbow, it's overpowered for at least a 3-rune win. Well, it's an extended threat, and frankly, by the time a character is ready to do 15 runes, he is so strong that you need to have, you need to have threats in the game that feel a little bit overwhelming if you want to keep challenging the player. Because that's the heart, that is the heart and soul, for me, of gaming, is the player has to, number one, he has to feel like he's getting stronger. Because ultimately that's what video games are. It's an escape. Unless you're in it for the story, and probably even if you are in it for the story, you're also in it for that feeling of growth. It triggers that part of your, the back part of your brain that's like, oh, I'm progressing in life. And it makes you feel real good. So a game has to make you feel like your character's getting stronger. And so many games have that theme because it's what games do well. But number two, the minute that it gets boring, it has to do this juggling act, because not only do you have to feel like you're getting stronger, but you have to feel like you're still being challenged, because if you're not being challenged, you're not overcoming challenges. And if you're not overcoming challenges, you might as well be playing Candyland, So, that's my philosophy on game design. And that's why I think Hellfire is a good thing. I like the power level of Hellfire. Play DCSS for the characters. Yeah, people like building things in this game. That's certainly true. Okay, but that's, Kajirdan, that's an even better way, because you, the person, you're getting stronger. I actually prefer those kinds of games. In DCSS, it happens to be both. You as the player gets stronger, and the character gets stronger too. But yeah, sure, something like Dark Souls, it's more like the player is the person getting stronger, more than the character. Dude, this is crap. Can I scattershot him? Too big of AC. I can probably Ice Blast him for the win. Why is he not dying? Finally, jeez. Jeez Louise, okay. That took a lot. That last little gasp. That last little gasp of hit points there. Of the fight. Tuckered this poor mummy out. Celeste. I have to try that out. I haven't heard of that. But yeah, I'm really glad you brought that up, Kajir Don, because that's an interesting point. and it's an interesting archetype of games. But I think it kind of goes for my argument more than against it, because that really does touch the same part of your brain, but even harder because you actually are, it's not pretend at this point. You actually are getting better. You're acquiring a skill such as it is. It may not be very useful in the real world, but you're quite literally getting good at something. People like to get good at things. It's just usually it's not very fun. Teaching yourself a skill, a lot of people never acquire the ability to enjoy that. And the magic of video games is that, you gamify something and suddenly it's fun. Both the end result and the journey, So that's one of the most interesting and I think beautiful things about video games. The way that it sort of interacts with human psychology in that way. That's why fighting games aren't popular. Yeah, I do think that character getting better versus player getting better, I think that appeals to more people. And fighting games are a great example of that, because if you as a player don't get good at a fighting game, then sorry, it's the ultimate put up or shut up, type game is a fighting game. But they're also the ultimate competitive game, in a lot of ways. Alrighty, so we got that rune. I know it's been a pretty short stream, but I don't know, I'm feeling like I'm going to lose my voice if I keep doing this, so I'm probably going to stop here. We got 2 runes. We cleared out a little more of Tomb. I'll definitely stream again tomorrow, and I'll definitely do some more of this mummy, since I promised I would get extended done. Again, sorry about the short stream, but it's kind of necessity in this case. Why are we doing Hell before Pan? In a lot of ways, I think some of the Hells are easier than Pan, because when you go into Pan, you've got to be ready to do all of Pan, because there is a scenario where you go through all the Pans and you just end up having to do all of them. If you enter a floor with a Pan Lord on it that also has a rune on it, and you leave that floor without getting the rune, that's it. GG. You cannot get that rune ever again, unless it's a demon rune. So that means, like, if I'm not prepared to deal with the absolute bullshit scenario that is Lom LeBron Laban, I'm gonna have a bad time. And well, it's I don't want to have to necessarily make that make or break decision right now. Whereas with Hell, I can leave whenever I want, come back, leave again, come back, leave. I could just whatever. It's totally free. And then right. If you don't actually kill him, Pan Lord, they'll follow you to the other Pan floors. I don't think, if you don't take the rune, I don't think they follow you, Tony. But I've never done that, so I'm not 100% sure. I think they only follow you if you steal their rune without killing them. But yeah, it's just basically the bottom line is like like Spacebot says, it's all about keeping your options open, I think, and keeping your escape route very clear. I mean, will I do Pan before Dis? Probably. Will I do it before Tartarus? Maybe. Will I do it before finishing Tomb? Maybe. But, like, will I do it before Coquetus and probably Gehenna? Of course, probably not, because the thing is, Coquetus is pretty easy on a lot of characters, and so is Gehenna. Tartarus is fun. I'm a little worried about the Shadow Fiends, I guess, now that I think about it more. And the constant torment would be painful on a different character. I mean, the biggest thing is, spoilers, Ereshkigal, the boss, has silence, so you can very easily, she has silence and she's surrounded by Shadow Fiends, so if you get sloppy, if you stumble in there like a clumsy janitor and spill your mop and bucket all over the floor, and you get silenced and you got Shadow Fiends around you, if you're not prepared for that situation, you could very well die right there without any further mistakes. This character will love being dispelled repeatedly. He will. He will love that. That would be good. Would you agree that fiends not hellfiring you when you're next to a zombie dragon is spoilery? It's spoilery as hell. It's spoilery as hell, but the less... That is less important to me than the fact that it's dumb as hell. I mean, it's like, it's an interesting... I'm going to say a good thing about it and a bad thing about it. The good thing about it is it's not totally brain dead. It causes the player to think. It creates kind of an interesting tactical puzzle for them to have to solve. But at the same time, it doesn't make any sense. I think it's a little too easy to just sort of invalidate the power of what's supposed to be this endgame threat, and you just like shuffle next to some crappy little zombie, and then you're immune, basically. I also find the term spoilery kind of goofy, because it seems to only be used by the crawl devs, and they seem to only bust it out when they want to win an argument. There's been a lot of times when they've declared something is spoilery just to win an argument, but then when you declare something is spoilery that they want to do, they just kind of ignore you. So, yeah, I don't know. Great example is, I guess, blowing up TRJ with Usk didn't used to make a bunch of jellies, and now it does. Thanks, Advil. Anyway, yeah, I guess the bottom line is I pretty much agree with you about that term. I'm more interested in, I'll tell you the term I like is interactivity. Everything in the game should be as interactive as possible. The player should be able to have back and forth with the game, tactically speaking. And like I said, that's the thing that I like about the way Hellfire works right now. But there's got to be a better way, a way that just seems like a little less easy, a little less straightforward. Did my roundabout way to remind you that Shadow Fiends have Dispel Undead not work? Oh, no, I'm just a little tired and sick right now, so when you said Dispelled, for some reason I thought you were talking about like Quicksilver Dragons and Dispel Magic, at which point I would like being Dispelled, because, you know, that takes off Petrify, but you meant Dispel Undead, so no, I will not enjoy being Dispelled repeatedly and taking hundreds of damage. But, yeah, that makes more sense now that you explained it. And I don't know why I interpreted it the way that I did. But, yeah, I guess I'm just a little sleepy. Anyway, I've been talking for a while. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Tony, thank you for the compliment. Much appreciated. Thank you for the follows, everybody. Thank you for the sub, Spacebot. And, yeah, I think that's everybody. All right, well, until next time. I am signing out. Did you know that there are many ways that you can help support this channel? Read about them on rosecrypto.com/support. At Rose Crypto, you can learn all about cool things like the Brave web browser, Bitcoin, and other cryptocurrencies. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.